You are listening to Perfect English with Danny. Improve your English every day. Never stop learning. Welcome to a new episode from Perfect English with Danny. This episode is about writing. And I'm not going to talk about how to write a paragraph or how to write an essay. We might do that later. But today I'm going to focus on a very simple but very important thing when you want to write anything. Whether it is going to be an email to somebody or if you want to write an essay or a short story or even a novel. It is about being brief. It is about writing less and meaning more. And this is a common mistake we all make. No matter how experienced you are in writing, we always make this mistake by writing words that are not actually needed in the sentence. And the fewer words we have in a sentence with the most possible meaning, the stronger our sentence can be. So I have 10 sentences for you today. I'm going to read the sentence and give you a couple of seconds to think about the possible word that can be left out without changing the meaning. So let's start with the first sentence. Our water comes from the river or from the reservoir. Well, this is supposed to be a little bit easy. What do you think? Which words can I leave out from this sentence? I'll say it again. Our water comes from the river or from the reservoir. Which word do you think? Well, if you think it is the second from, you're right. Because from applies to both the river and the reservoir. So you need to put it only before the river. Instead of saying our water comes from the river or from the reservoir, we should simply say our water comes from the river or the reservoir. We leave out the second from that is not serving any purpose here. So let's move to the second sentence, which is a little bit more challenging. We can only remain friends if you tell me the honest truth about what happened that night. I'll say that again. We can only remain friends if you tell me the honest truth about what happened last night. So what do you think? Is it we can only remain and we can say we can remain friends? Well, maybe only here serves a purpose. If you tell me the honest truth, is there something extra here, do you think? Actually, there is. How about the word honest with the word truth? Well, truth is already the facts about something without any imagined or invented details. So the word truth is honest by definition. Means honest. You don't need to say honest truth. There is no honest and dishonest truth. Truth is truth. It's always honest. Instead of saying we can only remain friends if you tell me the honest truth about what happened last night, we should say we can only remain friends if you tell me the truth about what happened last night. Let's move to the third sentence. She will watch the boat race from the point of view of the porch. She will watch the boat race from the point of view of the porch. What do you think the extra word or words are? Well, if you noticed, we're talking about watching the boat race from the porch. If I just say from the porch, isn't that enough? Do I really need to add the point of view of the porch? It's not actually needed. When you want to watch something from the porch, from the balcony, from the roof, it doesn't matter. That means you're going to watch it from the point of view of that place, of course. That's the whole thing. That's what it is all about. So why do we need to add the point of view? We don't need it here. We can simply say, she will watch the boat race from the porch. That's it. Not from the point of view of the porch. Let's move to the next sentence. She canceled out her visit to Japan. She canceled out her visit to Japan. Well, here again, we don't have a mistake. But if you ask yourself, what is the difference between she canceled out her visit to Japan or she canceled her visit to Japan? Actually, nothing. She canceled out or she canceled, they both mean voided. So why do we use out then if we can just use canceled on its own? Here, out is an extra word. We don't actually need it. We can simply say she canceled her visit to Japan. Less is more. Now for the next sentence. Sending that email marked the final completion of the project. Sending that email marked the final completion of the project. What do you think the extra word is? Or words? Let's take a look. Sending that email marked the final completion of the project. What do we mean by completion? Completion means the act of finishing something. Nothing comes after it. It is the end. So, final means coming at the end. And completion means the act of finishing something which comes at the end. Don't you think that we're repeating something? We're describing the final completion. There is no first completion and second completion. Completion just comes at the end. It is the final thing. So, the word final is not necessary in the sentence. We should simply say, sending that email marked the completion of the project without the final completion. Final is an extra word we don't need in the sentence. And now let's move to the next sentence. Thomas Edison first invented the telegraph. Thomas Edison first invented the telegraph. What do you think? Which word is extra? Well, let's see. Thomas Edison first invented the telegraph. Well, the word invented, what does it actually mean? To invent something is to create something for the first time ever, before anybody can do that. And that's why we use the word invent. So, why should we say first invent? Invent already has the meaning of create something for the first time. So, which word do you think is the extra? The word first is not needed. First means coming before all others, and invented means creates from nothing, which means coming before all others. So we don't need the word first. We should simply say Thomas Edison invented the telegraph, and that's it. And now let's move to the next one. He stood in the middle of the room, said nothing at all, then left. He stood in the middle of the room, said nothing at all, then left. Where do you think the addition that is not needed? What can we leave out from this sentence without changing anything to the meaning of the sentence? Let's take a look. He said nothing at all, then left. Well, the word nothing on its own means not anything or not at all. So actually the phrase at all is repetitive. Nothing on its own means not anything at all or not at all. So here, why should we say at all again? We should simply say he stood in the middle of the room, said nothing, then left. And now for the next sentence. The poisonous venom of the black mamba can kill a human in about 20 minutes. The poisonous venom of the black mamba can kill a human in about 20 minutes. What do you think? Which word is extra here? Which word is the word we don't need? Let's take a look. We said the poisonous venom of the black mamba. Well, what is the meaning of the word venom in the first place? Venom means a poisonous substance secreted by an animal. So the word venom already means a poisonous substance. Why do we have to add poisonous? It's already embedded in the meaning of the word venom. So here we should simply say the venom of the black mamba can kill a human in about 20 minutes, not the poisonous venom. And now let's move to the next sentence. The two sisters united together after being separated for almost 20 years. The two sisters united together after being separated for almost 20 years. Which word do you think is the extra word, the word we don't need? Think about it. The word unite means combine as one group, and together means with each other. So, do we really need to say unite together? Isn't the word unite on its own enough? If we say the two sisters united after being separated for almost 20 years, what difference does it make? Do we need to put the word together to have the meaning? Not at all. So we can simply say the two sisters united after being separated for almost 20 years without using the word together. Together is extra. Write less, mean more. And now for our final sentence, and this one is easy. Are you going to sell your car or your motorcycle? Are you going to sell your car or your motorcycle? So, what do you think? It's just like the first sentence when we said from the river or from the reservoir. Here we're saying sell your car or your motorcycle. Your applies to both, car and motorcycle. So why should we use it twice? We should simply say, are you going to sell your car or motorcycle? And that's it. So, the point about this episode is to start looking at sentences or the sentences you write in a different way. Of course, never do that when you're writing. When you're actually writing, just write. Don't think about what you're writing. Don't try to edit while you're writing. But when you finish writing, use that extra tool. Add this tool to your editing arsenal. Be notorious about leaving out words from sentences, especially the words that are extra, the words that are not necessary, like the words we talked about in those 10 example sentences we just had. So remember, it doesn't matter whether you want to write a paragraph, an essay, a short story, or a novel. It's always the same. Writing less, meaning more, is always better. I hope you found the information I shared today about writing useful. This is your host, Danny, saying thank you very much for listening to another episode from Perfect English with Danny. I will see you in the next episode.